Okay, we're back. All right, we're back. And if you've been following along, we are deep in the middle of the software update for the female libido. We're looking at the practical, hands-on way to stop treating the body like a broken machine and start treating it like, well, like a living system.
Or at least a system that doesn't need a frantic emergency repair every time things don't go according to the standard plan.
Exactly. I mean, look, I'm still recovering from that tower card moment earlier, but this part of the book, it's kind of beautiful. It's about moving from what's wrong with me to how do I communicate what's actually happening.
It's also about not having to apologize for your own biology, which, let's be honest, is a huge relief.
Right, and Emily, the author, she starts this section with this almost hilarious, very blunt suggestion. She basically says, you don't have to apologize for me. You can just email your partner an apology for the fact that they didn't know about non-concordance.
I love that. It shifts the burden. It's not, I'm broken, it's your information library is outdated.
Yeah, it's like, hey, your software is running on Windows 95. We need to get you onto the modern OS. But then she gets really practical. She's like, okay, if your genitals are basically just reacting to stimuli like a Pavlovian bell buck, you aren't actually into it. How does your partner know you're actually enjoying yourself?
She gives a list, and it's not about looking for, the obvious physical signs. She says, look at the breath, the respiration rate, the pulse.
I love the phrasing here. She says look for muscle tension in the abdomen, the thighs, even the wrists or feet. She says when the tension moves in a certain way, the body bows and arches.
But then she hits the most important one. She says, your words. Only you can tell your partner what you want. I know, it sounds simple. But she's saying you can just use shortcuts. Yes or more. It's about reducing the friction of communication.
Speaking of friction, she moves right into the lube talk. And honestly, this is where the software update metaphor really hits home. She's basically saying, if you need lube, use lube. It is your friend. It is literally just a tool to prevent injury and increase pleasure.
But she acknowledges the glitch in the social code. She says people feel hesitant because they think using lube means they are inadequate, or because of that sanctity moral foundation where sex-related stuff gets labeled as dirty.
It's that weird cultural baggage, right? Like, why is this bottle of silicone-based liquid a symbol of failure? It's just stuff.
And she tells you how to fix that. You use playfulness, curiosity, and humor. She says it is literally impossible to feel anxious when you approach it with humor.
Easy for you to say, Some of us are more serious and focused during, well, everything.
Hey, but look at her tip for the partner. Make your enough partner feel like a superhero. Instead of saying, hey, this isn't working, you say, you are doing all these amazing things, and I want to add this one more element to make it even more incredible.
It's a brilliant psychological pivot. You aren't criticizing the performance, you're expanding the repertoire. But then, the book introduces this character, Henry, and his question, man, it's the heavy hitter.
Oh, I saw this coming. He's stuck on the how.
He says, I understand that genital response doesn't tell me what turns you on, but what I don't understand is how you get turned on without first wanting the thing that turns you on.
Because that's the logic we've been fed. The desire must precede the act myth.
And here's the patch, the actual code fix. The answer to Henry's question is, pleasure comes first before desire, that is.
Wow, that changes everything. That completely reconfigures how you approach the engine.
It's the distinction between spontaneous and responsive desire. And she illustrates it with this story about Olivia and Patrick. Olivia is the high desire partner. Patrick is the lower desire one. They decided to flip the script. No preparation, just showing up.
And they preheated the oven. Moving from the bedroom to the kitchen, feeding each other, creating context.
And the crazy part, Olivia, the one who usually wants it more, found that by slowing down to his pace, by holding herself back, it was unbelievably better.
It was like I could feel his pleasure in my body. I could even feel my own pleasure inside his body. That's a shared resonance.
And she ends this chapter with this beautiful metaphor about gardening. If you have a desert garden, you know how to handle cacti. Use very little water. But if you try to grow a tomato plant in that same desert, you'll watch it die and you'll wonder why. Because you're following the correct rules for the desert.
You need to realize the tomato plant needs a different climate.
Exactly. The software update isn't about changing the plant. It's about changing the environment to match the biology.
I think I need to go buy some exotic fruit and just sit with that for a minute.
I'll join you, but first let's see if I can figure out why my left eye is still twitching.
It's funny how we just finished that metaphor about the tomato plant, but then the book immediately circles back to the people trying to force it.
Right? She says there are people who look at a plant that needs water and say, no, that's not a plant. That's a broken plant. It should be an aloe.
It's the classic I can fix her energy, but for botany.
Or I can fix this biology. It's exhausting. She says there are gardeners out there who will literally do anything at all to force a tomato plant to thrive in a desert, just because they refuse to accept that the climate has changed.
But the moment you stop fighting the biology and actually, provide the water, the book says you go from why is it dying to wow.
That's the goal, that wow moment. And she transitions right into the meat of it, the standard narrative of desire.
Which, as we've discussed, is basically just waiting for lightning to strike.
Exactly. She calls it spontaneous desire. You're walking on the street, you see someone, pow! Sudden urge. That's Olivia's style. It's like a sudden software launch.
But then there's the pragmatic approach. Like, hey, it's 7 p.m. on Saturday, the calendar says date night, so let's just put our bodies in the bed and see what happens.
And that's where the responsive part comes in. The body wakes up after the skin touches. It's not, I want this. It's, oh, I like this.
It's the slow heater approach. And she is very clear this is not a defect. It's not low desire. It's just a different ignition system.
She uses this person, Camilla, to illustrate it. Camilla doesn't crave sex out of the blue. She doesn't have that spontaneous spark. And the book is so adamant here, she repeats it. Responsive desire is normal and healthy.
But wait, she goes even deeper. She says, and this is the part that blew my mind, that everyone's desire is actually responsive. It just feels more spontaneous for some people.
Because the spontaneous ones just have a much shorter delay between stimulus and desire.
Right. It's all about the organization of the parts. And she gives us these 3 scenarios. This is brilliant, actually. It's like analyzing network traffic.
Scenario 1, the quiet network. You're happy, you're trusting, your partner touches your arm. There's noise in your brain. The signal travels from your arm, up your spine, and your brain just says, hey, this is nice. Let's do more of this.
It's like a clean connection. Low latency.
Exactly. But then, scenario 2, the DDoS attack. Yeah. You're stressed, you're exhausted, your brain is full of heavy traffic, yelling and honking horns from all your responsibilities. Your partner touches your arm, and the signal hits the brain, and the brain just goes, what? I can't. Hurry over all there's noise.
And then she says something so visceral. She says the sensation is a little bit like a Snapchat. It's gone before you even process it.
Not now, honey. The way to shut down a connection.
But then, the third one, the high intensity mode. Your partner has been away, you've been texting, it's been escalating, it's all sexy, sexy, sexy in your head. By the time they touch your arm, you're set to go off like a rocket.
So the stimulation is the same in all 3. The touch is the same.
It's the context that changes the outcome. The software environment determines if the signal leads to desire or just gets ignored.
And this ties back to what we were saying earlier about the broken narrative. If you're in scenario 2, you aren't broken, you just have too much background noise.
So, the fix isn't to change the person, it's to clear the cache, reduce the noise.
Exactly. Look for the context that facilitated. If you want more spontaneous feeling desire, you look at the worksheets from earlier, the settings, the partners, the ludic or playful factors, and you try to create that quiet or that high intensity environment.
It's about moving from why is it dying to wow.
I just want that wow.
Me too, Em. Me too. Now, does anyone know if we can apply scenario 3 to a pizza delivery? Because my hunger is definitely responsive.
So, we've been talking about the thresholds, the idea that the engine isn't broken, it just needs enough water pressure to get the spark to catch.
And I love how the author brings it back to Henry and Camilla, because Henry, bless him, he's actually using his own spontaneous system to help her. He sees her walking around, all damp and naked after a shower, and boom, he's turned on.
See, that's the low latency connection we were talking about. For him, the stimulus is right there. No lag.
But for Camilla, the threshold is higher. She needs the buildup. She literally says, tease my ticking pilot light, build up the water pressure.
I mean, that is a hell of a line, but look at what they do with it. They don't try to force the spontaneous explosion. They turn everything into low-key, no-pressure, zero expectation foreplay.
Like flowers, cuddling, affection, just a constant, steady stream of reminders.
It's like Instead of trying to launch a massive, heavy software update all at once and crashing the system, they're just doing these tiny little background patches, small, frequent updates.
And it actually works. The book says this is how many couples sustain a strong connection over the long term. It's not about that big, dramatic tension you see in movies. It's about the steady stream.
But then, and this is the part where I felt my inner analyst start to perk up, she drops a massive bombshell. She says, "Good news, it's probably not your hormones."
Wait, what? Everyone assumes it's a hormonal imbalance. That's the go-to. Oh, your estrogen is low. Let's fix the chemistry.
Exactly, but she cites this researcher, Lori Brotto. They tested 6 different hormonal factors to see if they predicted low desire in women. And the result? Not one of them was significantly predictive.
So it's not the hardware at all.
No. She says the real predictors are developmental history, psychiatric history, and psychosexual history. Stress, depression, trauma, attachment, all that stuff we've been talking about in the earlier chapters.
That actually feels heavier in a way, because you can't just pop a pill to fix your attachment history or trauma.
Yeah, but it's also more empowering, right? Because it means the fix isn't a chemical change, it's a contextual one. You don't have to fix you just have to change the environment.
And here is the most radical reframe of the whole book. She says we need to stop thinking about sex as a drive, like hunger or thirst.
Because nobody ever died of frustration.
Exactly. She quotes Frank Beach from 1956. "No one has ever suffered tissue damage for lack of sex. You can literally die from lack of sleep, but you won't die from lack of getting laid."
That's a wild way to put it. So if it's not a drive to survive, what is it?
It's an incentive motivation system.
Like curiosity?
Exactly. Like curiosity. A drive pushes you because you're in discomfort. You must eat or you'll die. But an incentive system pulls you towards something attractive.
So, when you hear drive, think survive. When you hear incentive motivation, think thrive.
That changes the whole malfunction narrative. If you don't feel hungry for sex, you're not starving. You're just not currently curious about the snack.
That is so much less shameful. It's not a deficiency. It's just a lack of an attractive stimulus.
But she adds a warning. She says the myth that sex is a drive is actually dangerous. Because if you think it's a need, you might feel entitled to it.
And that's how you get consent issues. If someone thinks you owe them because they have a need.
Yeah, that's heavy. She uses that great metaphor about stealing bread. If you're starving, we might feel sympathy. But if you steal bread just because you're curious what it tastes like, we don't look at it the same way.
It's about boundaries. Sex is an invitation, not an obligation.
Okay, so we've cleared the hormone myth and the drive myth. But now she moves into the big one. The monogamy debate.
Oh, here we go. The is monogamy a natural argument?
And she doesn't take a side on the structure itself. She says it's the context that matters. It doesn't matter if you're monogamous or poly. It matters how you do it.
She brings in the heavy hitters here. Esther Perel versus John Gottman.
The mystery school versus the intimacy school.
Right. Perel says the problem with long-term love is that it kills passion because passion needs distance. It needs the bridge to cross. You need a little bit of that edgy instability.
And Gottman says the opposite. He says the problem is a lack of closeness. He says you need deepening intimacy and building a bridge together.
So, do we need to run away from our partners to want them or run toward them to keep them?
According to the author, you can do both. It just depends on how you define desire. If he's looking for the wanting, the longing you might need Perel's distance. But if you're looking for the liking, the pleasure you might need Gottman's closeness.
It's all just more context. Everything is just more context.
Man, I need to go reevaluate my entire life's context. I think I've been running a very high noise, low pleasure software update for years. I'm gonna go grab a snack before my brain completely crashes.
Good idea. I need to stretch my legs too.